Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mr. Haskell, one of Miss Gathy's friends. I have a story to share with you today, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Call 911. Oh, Mrs. Wallace bent over as she hugged her stomach. Jenny stared at her mother. What's the matter? She asked. Suddenly she was worried. Her mother's face was pale, and she looked really sick. I don't know, Mrs. Wallace said as she took a deep breath and tried to sit up. She and Jenny had been reading the Sabbath school lesson in Primary Treasure together. There, I feel much better. Then suddenly, ouch! Mrs. Wallace doubled over again. Just from the look on her face, Jenny knew there was something terribly wrong with her mother. Mrs. Wallace gritted her teeth and lay down on the sofa, but the pain wouldn't go away. What should I do? Jenny cried. She knelt down and felt her mother's cheek. It was really warm. I think you should call for help, Mrs. Wallace said. I can't drive to the hospital. Jenny jumped up and ran to the phone. This is an emergency, she told herself. I'm calling 911. A man with a clear, gentle voice answered. My mom has got a bad stomachache, Jenny said quickly. Will you send an ambulance? She told me to call. What's your name? The man asked. Jenny, Jenny said. Jenny, we're going to help your mother. First tell me your address. Jenny could hear the man typing the information into his computer. Are you sending an ambulance? She asked. Yes, paramedics have already been dispatched. That means they're on their way. But I need you to stay on the phone and help me answer some questions. Can you do that, Jenny? Jenny nodded, even though the 911 dispatcher couldn't see her. Yes, she added out loud. Don't hang up, the dispatcher repeated. See if your mom can tell me what is wrong. You're doing very well, Jenny. Jenny hurried back to her mother. Mom, I called 911. The paramedics are coming. Mrs. Wallace tried to smile, but Jenny could see it hurt too much. What's wrong? The 911 man wants to know. I think it's my appendix, Mrs. Wallace whispered. I've had a few pains the last few weeks. I guess I should have paid more attention to it. Jenny got back on the phone. Mom says she thinks it's her appendix, Jenny said as calmly as possible. She wanted to be sure the 911 dispatcher heard her clearly. Okay, I'll tell the ambulance crew. Thank you, Jenny. Now all you have to do is wait. Jenny stopped to take a breath. Suddenly, she got really scared again. She had been too busy to be scared before, but now it all came back. What if Mom is really sick? What if she dies? What am I going to do if she goes to the hospital? No, I have to keep being brave, she told herself. Mom might need me again. Then she thought of the memory verse in her lesson. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Jenny spoke into the phone to the dispatcher. I want to wait by my mother, okay? Fine, the man said, but don't hang up. Jenny went back to the couch. For a second, she held her mother's hand and prayed, God, please be with Mom, and please let the ambulance people hurry. Keep watching over us. We need it. Before her eyes even opened, she thought she heard a siren. I think the ambulance is coming, she told her mother. I'm going to check. Jenny got to the front door just as the ambulance raced into her driveway with lights flashing. A man and a woman jumped out and opened some side compartments. They pulled out big boxes which Jenny knew had emergency equipment in them and ran up to the house. Are you Jenny? The woman paramedic asked. Jenny nodded. Where's your mother? Jenny quickly showed them to the sofa where her mother was lying. Then she went to the phone and told the 911 man that the paramedics had arrived. She stood back out of the way while the paramedics checked her mother. I think you're right about your appendix, Mrs. Wallace, the man said. We want to get you to the emergency room as quickly as possible. The paramedics brought in a stretcher and helped Mrs. Wallace onto it. My name is Mary, the woman paramedic said. Are you here by yourself, Jenny?" Jenny nodded. "How would you like to ride with your mom in the ambulance?" Quickly, Mary helped Jenny into the back of the ambulance and showed her how to fasten her seatbelt. When Jenny was ready, Mary signaled to her partner, and they took off toward the hospital with lights flashing and the siren going. When they pulled up in front of the emergency room doors, the driver jumped out and helped wheel Mrs. Wallace inside. Jenny barely got a chance to kiss her mom goodbye and give her a hug before the nurses rolled her away. Tears filled Jenny's eyes as she watched her mom being wheeled down the hallway. Then she felt a gentle hand on her shoulder. It was Mary. "Don't worry, Jenny. Your mother is in good hands. I think we have the best doctors in the county right here in Mill Valley." Jenny tried to smile bravely. The waiting room looked lonely and scary to her. "How soon will my mom be done?" she asked. Mary smiled. "Is there someone we can call, someone who will come and be with you?" Jenny tried to think. "My dad doesn't live in Mill Valley. Maybe you could call Mrs. Shue." Mary sat with Jenny until Mrs. Shue walked into the waiting room. Jenny jumped into Mrs. Shue's arms and held on for a long hug. The tears she had been trying to hold on to ran out all at once. Now, Mrs. Shue said softly. "Everything is going to be okay." "I was so scared," Jenny sobbed. "I tried not to be. I knew I had to help Mom," Jenny said. Mary shook hands with Mrs. Shue. Jenny was very brave and helpful, she said, telling what had happened. She knelt down and gave Jenny a hug before leaving. "I hope my daughter grows up to be as brave, just like you." Mrs. Shue sat down with Jenny. "It sounds like you did all the right things." "I remembered my memory verse," Jenny explained. "It reminded me to trust that God would help me and Mom." Mrs. Shue nodded. "You trusted God, and He helped you. Now why don't we call your father and let him know what's going on?" Before long, Jenny's dad was on his way. A doctor came out to speak to Jenny. "Your mother is going to be fine," he reported. "She'll be resting in a room tonight, and you can come visit her tomorrow." Now that Jenny wasn't so scared, she started getting very tired. "I might miss Sabbath school tomorrow," she told Mrs. Shue. "I'll probably be back here to see Mom." "That's okay," Mrs. Shue said. "I'll tell your friends that you've already learned our lesson."
The story you have heard today is from the Shoebox Kids Bible Stories, written by Jerry D. Thomas and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.